My name is Hazel Clackworthy and I work for Monmouthshire County Council as their Sustainability Policy Officer, and I'm the lead in the organisation in getting the council ready for the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act. Monmouthshire County Council have been part of the Welsh Local Government Association's Early Adopters programme, which is working with a number of local authorities to help us get ready for the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act when it comes in April. We've been working as part of our early adopters work with the Wales Audit Office, who are coming in to do an assessment of, our corporate assessment, and alongside that they've done a light touch review of our preparedness for the Act, and there's some useful lessons that I think we could share with other organisations. We're working towards improving social, economic, environmental and cultural well-being of Wales. That's what we're doing in line with other public bodies. And we're doing that by working towards the 7 wellbeing goals and making sure that we apply the 5 sustainable development principles in everything that we do. The key points we want to share are some of the points that Wales Audit Office included in our report, which I think are really helpful and will help lots of public bodies prepare for the Act and make sure that they're ready for scrutiny from the Wales Audit Office, who are developing their approach and looking at different ways of working and because it's quite a different responsibility for them. So I think the things that they've brought out will help all organisations. Okay, so probably the first most important point that came out was the need for clear and consistent understanding across the whole organisation about what the Act means and how we need to be doing things differently. And that involves looking at all our documents, all our strategies, and ensuring that we've got the same consistent messages across our communications, websites, so that everyone across the organisation has the same understanding of what the Act means and what we're going to have to be doing differently. The second point is around strengthening and developing leadership for sustainable development, both as a local authority at officer level, but also at member level. So in Monmouthshire, we've been working through our training courses. We're looking at induction training for new starters. We're looking at training for senior managers. We've done briefings for members and training with them, so that everyone who's in any kind of leadership role understands their responsibilities around the Act. The next main point is around our business processes and making sure our business processes are all in line with the Sustainable Development Goal. In Monmouthshire, we've got lots of high-level aspirations in our single integrated plan, for example, where we're working towards sustainable and resilient communities. But what Wales Audit Office pointed out was that we really need to have those business processes in place that underpin that, so the actual structure to make those aspirations become a reality. And that involves looking at all sorts of our parts of our business, looking at procurement, how we make decisions, how we document how we've made decisions, so that all underpins those high-level aspirations and goals. The next point was around our business planning and how we need to make sure that the Future Generations Act is built into all of our business planning processes, so that from very local service plans incorporate aspirations and the Act and the aims to work towards sustainable development, and our overall improvement plan and the way we report against those, so that at every level of the organisation our business plans incorporate sustainability throughout. The next point is we need to work on looking at ways of providing feedback on our progress towards sustainable development and the Act. So looking at how we document things, how we measure things, how we can demonstrate that we are working in the right direction. The next suggestion that the Wales Audit Office had was around using the diagnostic tool that we initially at the beginning of our early adopters work used to kind of pinpoint key areas where we needed to work on. Using that tool for ongoing assessment of our work towards the Act. And then the final point is looking at developing the potential for integrated reporting. So looking at reporting on finance, social, economic and environmental impacts of everything that we do.
The purpose of this video is to help people understand the impact that the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act is likely to have on a public service in Wales. The Act defines sustainable development as improving the economic, social, environmental and cultural well-being in Wales for now and in the future. It puts in place 7 national goals and requires public bodies to work towards achieving those 7 national goals as a group, not just 1 or 2 of them. In that way, it sets a common purpose for public bodies in Wales. Public bodies, in seeking to maximise their contribution to those national goals, will need to apply the Sustainable Development Principle. And in doing so, they'll need to use it to shape what they intend to do, how they intend to do it, and also how they communicate what difference they are making. The Wellbeing of Future Generations Act places a new duty on the Auditor General to undertake examinations which will find out how well public bodies are responding to the requirements of the Act, particularly in relation to the way they set their objectives and take steps to achieve those objectives. He will also be required once every 5 years to report to the Assembly on the progress that public services is making in embedding sustainable development throughout its activities. In Monmouthshire, there are a number of points that we feel are generally applicable to all public bodies that arose from that work. The first of those is the opportunity that the Act provides us to integrate the requirements of the WFG Act within our mainstream audit, as opposed to undertaking a separate audit. The second is the need for us to communicate to our public bodies that we will be using the 2016-17 year as an opportunity to work with them to develop and test our approach to auditing the WFG Act. The third is that we need to explain to our public bodies that our approach is likely to evolve and adapt and develop further during next year and beyond. And the fourth point is that a one-size-fits-all approach to the WFG Act and our auditing of it is unlikely to be fit for purpose, and we need to think of more innovative ways of working with our public bodies on developing an approach which can be tailored accordingly. Key areas that we need to address in developing a new approach include striking a better balance between a forward-looking assessment and a backward-looking assessment, and also ensuring that at an early stage we've got a common understanding about what the focus of the work is. And by that we mean ensuring that the public body has a common understanding across its range of activities, and also there's a common understanding between us as auditors and them as an audited body. In summary, the key message that I'd like to share with people is that the Auditor General and the staff of the WAO understand that the Wellbeing of Future Generations Act is going to be as challenging for public audit in Wales as it is going to be for public bodies. It is therefore really important that we work together to seize the opportunities that the Act provides and rise to the challenge.